Hey guys, thank you for coming to the first Women of Let's Play panel. My name is Elyse Willems. I was going to bring up all these ladies individually because I think they all deserve their own round of applause. So please, if you will welcome with me, she is a summoner of Anubis. She has the fastest editing prowess across the Let's Play kingdom. It's Sugar Pine's Autumn. Next up, she's probably one of the most competent people at their job I've ever seen. She's also one of the kindest people and probably has a bigger Pokemon collection than I have in my money in my bank account. She's just a dynamic person, but Joey from Kinda Funny. Because this is a one-year celebration of you being with Kinda Funny, right? Next up, this is one of the most intelligent women I've ever met. She's just on top of her game. She's a star. And she's my pick for the next Batman. It's Funhouse's Alana.
Is it me? Am I small? Oh, it is me!
I just wanted to say, Funhouses. I hope she doesn't mind me saying, but this is one of the baddest bitches in town. I know, like, Brett runs Cow Chop, but she runs Cow Chop. You've never met Lindsay, but you need to. This is Cow Chop's Lindsay. And
I run this.
I don't need to introduce this last person because chaos follows her wherever she goes. She's a voice actress, one of the most hilarious people that I look up to for her comedy. She's just Lindsay Mother Flippin' Jones.
When Elyse was like, oh, one of the most competent people ever, Lindsay was like, oh, it's definitely not me. Also, did you say flippin' on this page?
I didn't know if you could take that. So it's Lindsay motherfucking Jones?
This is also the most wholesome panel already.
Isn't it?
The intros and backstage are like, oh, I'm so excited to meet you. This is wonderful.
Yeah, because like not all of us had actually met before this weekend.
I'm sitting with strangers, but no best friends, so.
I put you there for a reason. Because I mean, I've met all of you, but who is just meeting kind of for the first time?
Lindsay and Lindsay connected backstage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We just met, and we met this weekend, so I only knew you two.
Yeah.
Now I have 4 friends.
Yeah. You and I had crossed paths, but I guess now we're officially friends.
Yeah, we hadn't like locked eyes.
Yeah, we locked eyes. Friends on Facebook too.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys made it like super official.
Yeah. we're hardcore.
Like, when are you gonna stop dating?
Don't tell Bruce.
And that's a problem, I think. That we are just interacting and meeting for the first time here. Because I think everyone on this panel is an incredibly dynamic woman and successful in her own right. I mean, Alana has a kind of an excuse. I'm just going. We're so excited.
It's really rude that you haven't met everybody yet, and this is already day 2. Like, come on.
I don't even walk that yet.
I kind of hope that this is just sort of the start of a beautiful friendship, really.
Yeah.
Ashley Jenkins is here. I love that we're doing this panel, but one of my favorite things that I've ever heard Ashley Jenkins say was that she used to be part of the gaming group, the Fragdolls, and she said, you know, eventually one day the Fragdolls disbanded because they served their purpose. Women were so common now in the gaming sphere that there didn't need to be a women-only group. And so I hope that we don't do this panel someday, because I hope there are too many women to fill it. But yeah, how's everybody's RTX going so far?
Pretty good. Very busy. So just left our cow chop signing to come here, so they overlapped a little bit, but I came here because I wanted to see you guys and thanks for showing up. Woo! And it's still be going on, so I'll have to go back. I hear they're long.
To get here, I walked past a Ruby cosplayer who had a bike. Like a full-size bike. He's like, how did you get that in here? Also incredible.
I couldn't even get like a belt. This convention center.
Usually forget my socks, but no, she has a goddamn bike in here.
There's been like 10 proposals this RTX, and I've witnessed to a few of them, which is awesome. But like, I don't know what the love in the air is, but awesome. Good job. Your love is best love.
They were all successful proposals.
Yes.
Okay.
There was a proposal at Kind of Funny Prom too, right?
There was a wedding.
There was a wedding.
Yeah.
That was a
surprise wedding. That's always fun.
And we got to expect it.
No, no one else expected it.
Oh.
They also didn't expect that their like second dance was going to be to Smash Mouth, but you know, we tried up the game for everybody.
Did anyone on Kind of Funny get prima nocta? Was that? Oh. Is that a distasteful joke? Have you guys seen Braveheart?
Elyse, please, keep the Braveheart to a minimum.
No, it shot 3 weeks. It's deep cut funhouse joke.
It wasn't Kind of funny, but I did see a tweet this morning that was like, hey, if anyone's staying at the JW Marriott, can you not have sex in the ice room?
I would just walk in and be like, get my eyes, that looks weird.
What do you think that's like, though?
Yeah, why the ice room?
What's sex in an ice
What's
room?
the draw?
It's sweaty, you know.
Good?
Yeah. It's very sweaty here.
I'm very curious. No, that's not thought of.
It was me and Michael, I'm sorry.
So, how was it?
Very cooling.
Lindsay, you had sex with Michael in the ice room, but you also had an intimate moment with Garbo Man on stage.
I guess I'll ask the audience. How many of you guys were at Let's Play Live? Thank you for raising your hand, Adam. Yeah, I did an interpretive dance with Garbo Man because I love him, and I wanted to express my love through the art of movement. I felt like it translated. It was good.
I'm gonna say I think that was also probably the single most rehearsed part of that whole show.
I appreciate that. It's
It
funny.
looked very well choreographed.
Thank you. I pulled so much of that out of my ass.
No one seemed to know it was happening though, like none of the crew or the producers.
I had the most prepared part of the whole thing.
Especially like, I don't know, sometimes you draw out an idea and everyone's like, that sounds weird, and then I get really like self-conscious and like, I'm not gonna do it anymore, forget it. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell them anything, they're just gonna see it as it happens, including Michael. So then he lovely like just hopped on the microphone and started doing the Garbo Man voice, which I appreciated. So, and you have video of that, yeah?
I do him being like, I can't do that with his body when he sings.
Yeah.
Like happen.
And then he was so aroused by the dance that you had sex in the ice room.
What a tale.
Played in the Mario tournament during Let's Play Live.
I don't remember that.
You were like first place the whole time, except when somebody bone dogged you at the end. I was so pissed.
That's how Mario Kart is, though. You know, you gotta do second, or else you just get boned at the last second.
All those blue shells.
Was it a blue shell that took it from you?
2 blue shells, I think.
Sucks.
Yeah, I was just like, well, all right. And I'm in 7th place now, and that's fine.
Oh, you got 7th after being first the whole time?
Yeah, it was
You
rough.
should get, I don't know,
What a
something.
fall from grace.
I know. That's like my
How we're
last
all just really just laying it out for you.
I know,
That must be really hard for you. Yeah. How does it feel? You're an embarrassment. There were like 1,000 people there. I'm so sorry. It's my bad. Oh my gosh.
Lindsay, did you go with the Couch Hop guys last night?
Go where? To hell?
I saw them making a beeline for like 6th Street.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they want me to talk to. They abandoned me, so I was like, oh no, where do I go? But I met up with some of the JT Machinima guys who are super awesome. Got to meet them and got some pizza. So I was alright.
What kind of pizza did you have?
Just cheese. You know, I'm just a cheese pizza kind of girl.
There's a pizza window. I've been to 6th Street a lot because I went to college.
Lots of pizza there.
Yeah, there's this one pizza window, and I don't know if you went there. Usually there's like drunk people on the ground outside being like,
The whole street, that's what that was.
awesome.
Joey texted me at like 1 in the morning and was like, we're going to IHOP!
So we had tried to get pizza last night, and then there are a lot of vegan 313s, and then we ended up at one that was closed. So we're in this parking lot. We're like, where do we want to go? And Nick was like, we want to go to IHOP. So we ended up in a thing, and we saw you guys walking. So I texted you in case you felt like some midnight pancakes.
Just all caps, shouting, we're going to IHOP.
It was after the party.
Yeah.
I don't remember how I ended up at IHOP. Did you text me also?
Well, because we were with Andrea.
I got there.
And then I think this time, I don't know. And
I ate all of Nick's food.
Yeah.
And then left. There's a lot of notes. I didn't pay for it.
Is it back for IHOP?
Well, we were like this.
It's IHOP, yeah.
It's not IHOP anymore?
No.
That was a marketing ploy. I'm behind.
I felt bad because you guys were like sitting at another booth across from us, but just looking at us. Like, oh, I want to be part of them, but I can't.
I still ate all the mozzarella sticks. I don't mind.
The important thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
We can keep just chatting, sharing our RTX stories. I can ask you guys some questions.
I rode one of those Lime scooters.
Oh, tell me everything.
Oh, guys, you're excited? It was awesome. It was awesome. I felt like a kid. I was like, wind in my hair, sweaty wind in my hair. I was like, this is great. It's like $2.
How does it work?
You just use the app. I'm an advertisement now for the scooter. You use the app. It's really simple. You just scan the barcode, and then you just use your credit card or whatever you want, and then you can ride it, and it charges you like 15 cents a minute, I think. So,
How far did you go?
to 7-Eleven. Slurpees. Yeah.
If they want to sponsor the Women of Let's Play panel, if you're listening, we love your scooters. They're great.
And 7-Eleven too.
Yeah.
Listening.
We can form a coalition just to get the sponsors that we want. Like the Lime scooter.
Scooters, 7-Eleven,
Tampax.
Diet Coke.
Yeah, IHOP, yeah. When you're here, you're drunk and family.
Yes.
Well, Jeff's probably going to tell the story too on off topic, but I will say, I wasn't there for it, but he's recovering from a spill on one of those scooters.
Oh,
No, this is not the advertisement.
Emotionally, he's scarred. He was on it with Millie too, which is even better. They were both on their little scooters having fun going down the street, and Jeff just like hit a bump and ate it like hardcore 90s cartoon style, like. And Millie just like straight up pointed and laughed at him. I'm so proud.
he told me that a fan just walked up while he was lying there and asked for his autograph.
Always on the job.
What are these fun questions you have?
They're all really fun. I can ask you guys some if you want. They're mostly like conversation starters too. Okay, so what gives you the right to take a job from a man?
Because I know Elyse loves The Office, so for anyone else who's watched, it's literally Michael's cut. What gives you the right?
Yeah.
I have the binder here, Elyse, actually, if you want to.
Yeah, the manifesto. No, I actually just want to know what Harry Potter house you guys all are.
Should we go one by one?
I'm Hufflepuff.
What?
I don't know, I'm like nice and unassuming and yeah, and I like plants. I think herbs and stuff, so yeah. I don't know. Guys, I'm making this up.
I'm Ravenclaw. I feel like the Hufflepuffs are like my kindred spirit of like, I I feel like if I could like split houses, I'd probably be half and half.
You're one of those like Raven puffs.
Yeah, that's my Wi-Fi network name at home. I'm committed to this.
Wait, that actually is?
Yeah, 100%.
That's really good. I'm a Slytherin.
Nice.
I've never seen Harry Potter. No, I'm just kidding. I would say, I think when I've done those quizzes, it probably always says like Gryffindor. I'm like, great, I'm like in the background in the scenes, you know, you see me and you're like, there I am, there I am, there I am. But, you know, probably Gryffindor.
You're one of the Gryffindors that's like, God damn it, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, can you just not get into shit for 2 seconds?
I need more beans in our jar. Why are you picking this up?
That's right. Dumbledore will come over and be like, 50 billion points for Gryffindor. You're amazing. I'm a Slytherin, also. Which is, I love Slytherin, don't get me wrong, but it's bullshit that Michael's a Gryffindor. Like, what the fuck? That's going wrong.
Well, I'm sorry you guys have to get a divorce. That sucks.
It's funny, we went to a Harry Potter world in California, which is awesome.
So love it there.
And we fully nerded out. We got the robes and everything. Because like they get you as you're coming in. They're like, you want to buy a robe and a wand? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. I'm almost 30, of course. So the entire time we were walking around in our robes, people were like, are you guys okay? How's the relationship going? Fine, thank you. We're working it out. What are you, Elyse?
Like in my heart, well, I guess, yeah, my heart, I wish I was a Ravenclaw, but in reality, probably a Hufflepuff. We're a kind, simple people. But yeah, I wish I could be more, but...
Canadian, yeah.
Dude, you gotta have all Canadians go in that house. That's how it works.
This isn't actually a question I came up with, I found it, but I loved it. If you had to choose between using Internet Explorer forever or permanently having an AOL email address, which would it be and why?
AOL email address.
Why though?
Fuck Internet Explorer, dude. I'm not using that shit.
But you can use Internet Explorer in like your own personal shame versus anytime you had to give out your email address, everyone would just outwardly judge you.
I have like 4 email addresses. One of them's an iCloud, one of them's a Hotmail. Like, I'm just add to the list. It's fine. I don't mind.
It's a piece of history.
Can you still get them?
Yeah. Somebody in here
Okay,
has
too
one.
many of you need it.
I'm gonna have to go to Internet Explorer because occasionally, like, you know, on your phone, if you push a link, it will still automatically go to your default browser. And I'm like, damn it, I'm on Internet Explorer. And I'll be here for like 5 seconds. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to answer this question.
Or Autumn States. You're like, not doing your own.
I'm 5. What's Internet Explorer? Or AOL?
I think I'd have to use Internet Explorer because like everything's connected to my Gmail, so I'd be fucked without it.
That's why I use Chrome, baby. Everything is Chrome for
Chrome's the
me.
best.
Google all your data. Use all of it.
That's how you do it.
Who you made in Smash, girl?
Oh, Bowser, 100%. He's had, well, don't fall off, you know? Don't fuck up and you're fine.
So this is like a safe space here, right?
Yes.
No, yes.
Okay.
I won't judge you now.
So like
later.
E3 this year was the first time I had ever played Smash Brothers. I think Tim, that was the breaking point for Tim. So I'm excited to discover who that is. All my friends are always like, we were always Super Mario Kart heavy, so we never really fucked around with Smash Brothers. I did like Ripley. That was very fun.
That's nice. Okay. All right.
That's all I got.
That's a tough one to start with.
You know, I like a challenge. I'm just gonna start there and then everything else will be easier, right?
Well, contrarily, I'm Kirby. You went from like the scariest thing, and I'm just the nice floaty one. It's great. It's a little pink ball. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, you guys are really gonna boo me. I never played Smash. I'm too busy playing like World of Warcraft, you know. Yeah. I can tell you all about that. I'm an undead hunter.
Tell us. You can tell us.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. And I'm like, I'm a hunter, you know, so I gotta deal with that.
Usually it's funny that Autumn was like, go heavy, stay grounded. I like to be all nimbly and bimbly. So I go with a young or Toon Link, usually Toon Link. Yeah. But I'm a stickler for using the C-stick, because I'm used to playing on like GameCube controller too, so it's all about doing that. I really don't block a lot. I need to block more.
Yeah.
I like anybody that gets a good chant going for them, so like I used to like Roy a lot.
I love the
We like Ganondorf, like Ganondorf.
Yeah. I'm excited to try Daisy. I know she's just a shadow of Peach, it's the same controls, but I don't care, because Daisy's like my girl. I love her. She's my My Patronus, if you will. Yeah.
Are Daisy and Luigi supposed to be together in the canon? I always forget.
That's what I was told.
I don't think it's actual canon. I think it's like
Fan
internet canon. Yeah.
In my head canon, Peach and Daisy are together, and they say,
We don't need no plumbers.
and then Rosalina comes in and it gets crazy.
What do you do to practice self-care, or do you even do it enough? Because it's something that everybody's talking about now, and we all work pretty hard, I think, so.
Yeah.
I showered this morning.
Me too.
I didn't. Don't cheer that. I don't know, this is like one of the hardest questions that anyone could ask me because I'm like, well, I'm not very good at that. I feel like going to the gym is my thing. I go to the gym and then I don't use my phone and I listen to music and I just think about anything that's bothering me, and that's like the 1 or 2 hours that I have every day that I'm like, good. But aside from that, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, not super great at it either. I found that now being kind of funny, I actually play games more because it forces me to put my phone down and like focus on one thing versus like if you're watching TV or whatever, you can like be on your phone and do a bunch of different things. So I'm trying to work on it.
You got those Fortnite skins, Joey?
Oh my god, I spent so much money in Fortnite, it's so bad. I look like a really cool dinosaur.
I agree. You look very cool.
I don't know. I like am in this part of my life where I'm trying to be like not afraid to like do girly shit. Like just put on a face mask every now and then. Take a fucking bath with some rosé, like just LA bitch. So that helps, I guess. I don't know. I try not to like just zone out in front of Netflix for hours on end, but that's usually what I end up doing. It's not the most efficient way of self-care, but whatever. You know, turn the brain off. Yeah. That's my motto.
Every season.
Or you replay The Office over and over again.
Until you die.
I like to go to yoga. I like to just kind of like be quiet and alone sometimes, like read or whatever.
Very ironic. Their response to like, I really like quiet is cheering.
You're so loud.
Elyse came over to shoot some videos and she saw a yoga mat for a video and she was so excited. She's like, yes, we're gonna do yoga. And then James just threw like cheese and meat all over it. Ate food with his feet. I'm sorry about that.
Dildos at me.
Yeah, we'll do yoga, we'll do yoga.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really know James that well. And I saw him with the yoga mat and I thought, he's not the person I thought he was. Look at him. Look how PC he is, how PC he is with himself. He cares about his body. And he's like, oh no, this is so I can use my feet to pick up food.
He is the person you think he is.
I'm going to ask you guys this question and then ask another question so you can kind of think about this one. But what video game title best describes your life? And while you think on that, my next question is, did you guys hear that Patrick Stewart is coming back to play Captain Picard? I like TNG. It was probably the only Star Trek I watched any of. Or any Trek heads.
I also only watched TNG.
Yeah, I watched some TNG. I watched the original with my grandfather, like way back in the day, so I remember some of it, but mostly watched the TNG movies. I did tell Ryan about that. I saw the headline yesterday about the announcement with Patrick Stewart. And Ryan,
I really panicked when I saw headline Patrick Stewart. I was like, please don't be dead. It really worried me for a bit.
trending on Twitter or shit.
Yeah.
Is he dead or did he just do something really shitty?
Right, yeah.
Which side of the coin is it?
No, it's great. It's actually great news for fans. But I haven't seen any of the new movies. Any of the new Star Trek movies.
Oh, I don't find
Yeah.
I gotta be
They're
honest.
okay.
We're getting mixed reviews.
I like them.
I like the first one for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't remember anything about them, which is kind of to me a sign of like, they're not that significant to me.
You weren't memorable.
Yeah.
Well, what do you like about Star Trek?
I mean, from TNG, I think they had some of the most charismatic cast. And just the ingenuity of like the story ideas, you know, which get a little cheesy at sometimes, but when you look back at 90s Star Trek, I think it's the best because it harkens to a time where people were just like, what? But yeah, I don't love it. I just like Patrick Stewart a lot. I wanted to give you guys time to think of that question. Answer. Did anybody
answer that? We've just been talking about Patrick Stewart this whole time. Oh no.
Did anybody come up with one?
Well, since I didn't respond because I was feverishly trying to answer that question in my head, I would say Cooking Mama because every every night in my kitchen is just a game of Cooking Mama, where I have some like lady with an indiscernible accent like telling me I'm doing a really bad job, like trying to cut onions and like failing miserably.
Do you remember it was like Cooking Mama and Science Papa?
Yeah.
That used to piss me off so much.
Dude, I don't understand Nintendo.
Yeah.
Science Papa just sounds like a porn thing.
Don't come to
At
Science
least it's not
Papa.
dead. It could have been worse.
Describes my life. Maybe some Persona 5, because you know, work, go to school, get a living in Tokyo, going to school, doing my jobs, and then like I fight all these demons at night, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I would love to have like an alter ego that just like goes out and does all these crazy things at night. So I think I just live vicariously through them. They have all these cool costumes.
I'm gonna go with Katamari. In my spare time, I just like to cover myself in glue and roll around. Yeah.
I feel like in an hour or something, I would be like, there it is! That would have been perfect. But I'm just like totally blanking right now.
It's a really hard question.
That's a hard question.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna prepare it and ask you.
Stupid.
I'll tell you guys like in an hour, okay?
Yeah, think on it.
Unfortunately, I have some trolling tendencies, so like the second you said your question, Elyse, I was like, Mary-Kate and Ashley Sweet 16. Not true at all. But I was going to say Katamari because I also like to roll myself in
Yeah, we
glue.
do that together a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just glue each other and then that's how it works.
Roll together. More applicable though is like, I feel like that's me with my life, is like all the shit that I have to deal with, I'm just like, just keep rolling, man, just go, you'll figure it out.
That is such
I don't know.
answer. What the hell? Dude, that's inspiring.
What are you so versed in? Probably like Animal Crossing. Like anytime I see a dog, I'm crossing that street to that dog. But yeah.
I don't think you do that in Animal Crossing.
What are you so versed in, or such a part of you that you could give a 40-minute presentation on it with no preparation? And it doesn't need to be something serious. It can just be something that you know.
I have this thing when I get drunk that I just look up a lot of information about things. And I most recently learned a lot, and then I could give a 40-minute presentation about it, about the hyperinflation situation in Zimbabwe. Not a joke.
No, we had an entire
I
conversation.
told her about it. I wonder how many people I've told to be like, why are you fucking telling me this? I'm like, just wait, it gets really good. It's intense. Can I tell you?
Robert Mugabe's
We have 40
out
minutes
now,
left.
right?
The part of it's like their currency got so overinflated that they have to take like bags to the bank, and then like 3 people will be able to take cash out to go buy milk, and then there'll be no money left in the banks. So it's like 3 people per day can get cash out that they have to take in these bags. That it got to a point that the inflation was so bad that the banks were useless. So they just were like, let's just use US dollars, and they just did it. Also, the conflict came because of blood diamonds.
My favorite.
You didn't lead up with my 40-minute presentation about the hyperinflation of Zimbabwe.
Congrats on the engagements this weekend, everyone.
When James proposed to me, he made sure that they were blood diamonds.
He said high conflict,
I would
please.
accept that.
Wow, I'm gonna line it up, and I'm gonna say that I could probably talk forever and ever and ever about the TV show Friends.
Nice.
I love that show. It's such a fun show, you know? Well, I won't get started though.
Who's your favorite friend?
Chandler.
Oh, nice.
I'm like a mix between Monica and Chandler. I have all the neurotic, all the tendencies, and I'm a clean freak, and you know, I use
Is that like a Harry Potter house where you can be 2 of the friends? Yeah.
and you know, I use humor as a defense mechanism. So who doesn't though? Sometimes.
That's true.
Do you guys hate Ross? Because I came to look up.
Ross is a necessary foil in the show, and we need him. Let's all the other friends up.
He became my favorite.
I love Ross. I love a Ross. Big, shiny white teeth because he whitened his teeth too much because he was trying to impress his date.
Doesn't he kind of treat Rachel like shit though?
Well, yeah, but it's like,
Yeah, he's not a good person.
she would have been better off without him, but don't get me started on that.
Go. You got it.
The situations Ross gets into become fantastic. Like the leather
They're
pants shrinking. Yeah.
I love that I was able to talk about Friends on this panel.
I feel like I have to fight a constant fight about why Grease 2 is better than Grease 1. Now that I have a crowd, let me tell you about here's the thing. The first one's all about Sandy changing to be with Danny. And the second one, Stephanie Zanoni, she's like, she knows who she is, she knows what she wants, and like, if she finds a guy, a cool motorcycle guy that likes that, then she's totally into it.
And there's a song about having sex for America.
Yeah, love that. And they teach you all about sex using all these science classes and plants. And man, I don't know why my parents let me watch that when I was little.
I haven't seen this movie, and it's sounding very different to what I expected.
It sounds like Science Papa.
Or, that's Science Daddy.
That's crossover of the century. This is boring because it's about my job, but I could talk forever about the fact that Premiere doesn't color. It does so. I'm so sorry. So when you color correct in Premiere, there's it's supposed to color like control basically like the window that you're color correcting in, and they don't. So it's really frustrating because what it looks like in Premiere is not what it's going to look like in like a Rec 709 internet monitor. So it's really irritating because you export it and it's super fucking flat and like desaturated, and then you have to like go in and fucking resaturate it.
So which friend are you? Monica? Rachel?
I'd say probably Ross with the leather pants. Yeah. I had a whole fight with this with an Adobe rep for like 30 minutes at an Adobe party, and it was really inappropriate. They wanted me to leave.
It's amazing.
You're fighting the editor's fight.
I feel like everyone would think like cats, but that's a lifestyle. The three things that I love talking about most, I could probably give a 40-minute presentation on, are paranormal events, orcas, and baked goods.
Was the second one orcas?
Orcas, yeah.
Yeah. You got some cool orca?
Largest member of the dolphin family. They're also still classified as a whale because they have teeth. They're a toothed whale.
I'm going to that presentation.
I straight up, like, in 5th and 6th and 7th grade, I went to what was called SeaWorld Camp, which is where every summer you go and you train to be a mini marine biologist, and they take you around and you learn the orca anatomy and you get to, like, feed them and stuff like that, but it was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Do they have an adult version?
They do, yeah. And that's like leading into your degree too. You have to have like college credit to do it. And actually, before going to UT for film, I was accepted into the veterinary program at A&M, and that was like going to be my track. It's like, okay, I'll go into marine biology. I will swim with the orcas in the future. And I was like, no, I'll just go film some stuff on the internet. Cool.
Well, that kind of leads me to my next question. Not any of the orca stuff.
Wait, did you answer that question?
I guess Muppets. I could talk about but to who, I don't know. Maybe Joel Rubin would be like the only person who cares. But you said you talk about paranormal stuff forever. Is there anybody on here that believes in ghosts or paranormal?
I want to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it like when I was a kid. I don't know how to tell this story because it's so fragmented in my memory, but sitting outside, my dad, my sister, and me, and 2 dogs, and the sensor light that was in our garage went off. And then it got really, really cold. And I think the dogs had started barking before the light went off. So dogs start barking, light goes on, is what I mean. And then it gets really, really cold. And we're all just like freaking out because the dogs are barking in this direction, that this light is just turned on and there's no one there, and it's freezing, even though it's in Australia in summer, so it's actually really hot. And then I think my dad just like tried to tell the dogs to shut up, and then everything went back to normal. And I still have no explanation for that, even though I don't believe in ghosts. It's just like that I can't explain that circumstance, and my sister remembers like a little bit differently, unfortunately, and then my dad remembers like slightly differently as well, but it's like, it doesn't make sense otherwise?
Yeah.
See, I hear stuff like that, and it makes me want to believe too, but I haven't had any experiences, so I'm like, it's probably like the wind. But, you know, not discrediting your experiences if you guys have had those experiences, because I believe that you had them. I've never had one, so it's hard for me to believe.
I had one when I was little. My mom took me to go see it was the Blair Witch Project. And I was way too young to go see that.
You were little.
And that was before like anybody knew what like found footage movies were. So we went, and my dad was on a business trip, so I was sleeping in my mom's room. And all of a sudden, like a car alarm goes off outside, like in the middle of the night, and keeps going. And I was like, what the heck? So she goes outside and she looks out the front window, and it's coming from our car, which doesn't have an alarm. And it was just the car horn was just like someone was just totally laying into it. So she like went downstairs to like the car, was like banging on it, trying to figure out like what the heck happened. And then out of the corner of her eye, there was a guy on the porch next door, and she could just see the lit end of his cigarette, and he was just silently watching her. But she was like, hey, are you doing something to our car? Why is he doing? So she like hit it a few times and got it to go off, but like never happened ever again.
Oh my god, that ghost was awesome.
No, I was like, I wish it was like a cool ghost, like a friendly ghost that did like fun things.
He's just like a mysterious cigarette ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No Casper.
I get sleep paralysis every
me
every
too.
summer.
Oh my
Yeah, yeah, Sleep paralysis club, the shittiest club ever. Yeah. Andy, you too. I'm sorry. So like, you know, when that happens, like I've like seen shit. I like that is a fucking alien, and it is coming into my room to abduct me for sure. And I'm also from the desert, so there's a lot of like high alien lore in the desert. So I'm sure I've been abducted a couple times, but you know.
So you hallucinate during your paralysis, yeah? Then?
Oh yeah.
Is it just alien? Like, okay. You usually get like common themes of what people see.
Yeah, for me it's like I usually see a bright light like coming into my room, and then I'll see like a shadowy thing, and in my head I'm like, oh, it's an alien. But like I don't fucking know. I'm probably just hallucinating, but at first it's like really scary, and now I like kind of like laugh when it happens because I'm just like, go the fuck away, dude! Like I'm trying to sleep. So yeah,
I feel you. I mean, I get sleep paralysis. I don't hallucinate. Like I'm grateful for that. But I just get the thing where like you can't move your body, and it feels like you're in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
So in your head, you're like screaming like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, but you can't move your body at all. And you see like everyone in the room. You see what's happening around you, but it's weird as hell. And going back to like, do you believe in ghosts? It's like I grew up in a creepy house, and weird stuff happened. And some of the stuff I can attribute now to sleep paralysis after doing research and like what people hallucinate and what they see. But some stuff happened where I was dead ass awake and I just can't explain it. Like for example, you would hear people like walking up and down my stairs a lot, and I had friends at sleepovers go like, oh, is your mom coming upstairs? I'm like, no, that's just like a weird noise that my stairs make. That's cool.
The ghost.
Yeah. Maggie, who works in the 2D department, she's head of 2D now. You probably still seen her on like On the Spot and stuff. We were roommates in college, so one year we came home and I had to go run some errands. I'm like, just stay home alone, chill in the house. My parents aren't here right now, but I think you'll be fine. It's fine. So I came back and I was like, hey, how'd everything go? She's like, did your sister come home at any point while you were gone? I'm like, no, she's out of town. And Maggie goes, okay, well, I heard a little girl like say outside of your room, like, Mom? And I thought it was your sister, and I wandered around your house and no one was there. I was like, okay, that's creepy. And then maybe like 6 months later, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, hey, how's everything at home? She's like, well, I heard a little girl's voice say Mom outside of your room, and they hadn't talked to each other about it at all. I hadn't mentioned it to each other, so yeah.
So you own the house now, right?
Yeah. Oh, we sold it. It's that new family's problem now. I love stories like that. Does your family still live in that house?
No, no.
Also, I was gonna say, you should fucking bust that door and like ghost hunters, achievement hunters.
That's content.
What's the difference between like ghosts that attach themselves to like the person versus ghosts that attach themselves to like the house? Because sometimes I'm like, why don't you just fucking move? Like if you're getting haunted, but then also sometimes you move.
It's like, why does everyone still live in Gotham City? Just fucking leave.
Why do I only wear dead people's clothes? Like,
Yeah.
I like the fear.
Are you okay?
I think about that sometimes when you go to like Goodwill, Salvation Army, or whatever, and you're buying, like, maybe these were a dead person's clothes.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never like.
When I was working at IGN, they've had that YouTube channel for like, I don't know, a really long time, and they have 10 million subscribers, and I was like, how many of those subscribers are dead? It's like a weird thing to think about, but surely a bunch of them have died. Like thousands? I don't know.
Those views, gotta get those notes. Can you guys, I know I shouldn't do this toward the end of the panel, but I wanted it to be like kind of fun. Now we'll talk about some like boring work stuff.
But just go from ghost stories to what?
I mean, ghosts are a part of my work, so it makes sense.
They are, true.
It's a good bridge.
Well, you can talk about this then, but I just thought maybe in this question you kind of could talk about what your career is, what your day-to-day is kind of like, but then also what you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing this job. So I work at Funhouse, and I'm a producer. Still like edit the occasional thing, but not really as much anymore. And I love any writing opportunity I can get at work. I like to do. my job that I probably would be doing if I wasn't doing Funhouse would maybe be just like working in traditional journalism, maybe. Yeah.
Like what kind of journalism?
Traditional.
I guess what? Yeah, like paper. I'm just printing paper. Yeah, I think it's not like my degree. I originally intended to go into just kind of like direct journalism because I have a degree in political science. So I was like, that's going to be my trajectory, is do something serious, and then kind of got caught up in this, which I am forever grateful for. So yeah, I guess kind of just maybe be a for hire copywriter or something boring, not at all like what we get to do.
I edit for Sugar Pine. I was the only editor for a year, but I have another editor now, which is fucking awesome.
Is Vicky here? No, she's probably at the boys only or asleep, naked.
Naked in the girls' room.
Yeah. You saw that too.
Yep, yeah. So that's super helpful, but I do some on-camera stuff, not necessarily because I want to, because I want to.
He loves you.
That's really nice. I've gotten more used to being on camera, but it still makes me nervous. But yeah, I love the editing, so that's what I do, and I'm glad I do it. It's as close to like a dream career as it could be. I enjoy it a lot. But if I wasn't doing editing, I would actually really want to be a doctor, because a lot of times like I struggle with working in media because I don't always see like the direct impact that I have on people's lives, and like I always want to like help people, make people feel better, whatever. So like this is really fun to go to because I get to meet everyone and like say hi and like hear how our stuff helps brighten your day or whatever. So yeah, that's it.
That's tender.
So I'm Joey, and I work for Honey. And so I do community management, social media, production coordination, merch, events, pretty much whatever they want me to do. A little bit of everything, which is fun because the day-to-day changes and every day is totally a different beast. If I wasn't doing that, my degree's in cultural anthropology, so totally different. So I was planning on working in developing countries, developing programs for the last company I was with, women who were making like paper-bead jewelry. We would like bring it to the United States and sell it, and then give them finance training, English lessons, and then teach them like how to build their own business plans for businesses in their communities. So I was doing something like that. But instead I get to like hang out and do dumb stuff on the internet, which is also fun.
You're like, I'm at Smash Mouth.
I'm unemployed. I'm waiting for a visa so I can start working at Funhouse, which means most of my day is checking my emails to see if I have my visa yet. If I wasn't unemployed, I would be working at Funhouse. My actual dream job is astronaut, but I figured you can't really segue from unemployed straight to astronaut, but like that would be my goal. If it were like something more realistic, I think no matter what, I always would have been in some kind of journalism. I have these like things that I wrote when I was a kid that I wanted to be the editor of a magazine. I didn't know what kind of magazine, but I just always really liked writing and production. So, yeah, astronaut though.
My official title is post-production supervisor at CowChop. I edit videos. Sometimes I'm in videos. Sometimes I clean the office. Sometimes I pick up the packages. It's sort of also kind of just like whatever they need me to do. And it's not just me, like all of us at CowChop just wear like all the hats because there's always something that needs to be done. So I just do whatever they need, but I also just like kind of manage all the editors. That's my main job.
And I didn't realize you were post-production, Sue, because like when I've been there, you just seem to run everything. You like command their respect. Because the last time I was there shooting, you were like, put that camera over there, put the camera on that side. Like I could tell that they just respect you.
Yeah, I work with a lot of smart guys, but some of them are a lot younger too. So they're easier to just tell them what to do. They're like, okay, cool. They'll just whatever. But no, we all work together. It's like a lot of fun. But I do a lot of little different things.
The description Elyse gave, that's the Monica within you.
Yes, that's my neurotic. Like,
no, it's not neurotic. It's just
knowing
what to do and getting shit done. Yeah.
I think we might need you at Sugar Pine to bring up the boys.
I'll come scope it out. What's this?
same way that Cow Chop works as Achievement Hunter. Everyone kind of wears a bunch of different hats and does different things. So year before last, I was managing Achievement Hunter, and then that was coming off of an editing position in their post-production work. I passed that on to Trevor, who's doing an awesome job, and now I focus mostly with on-camera work in Achievement Hunter. I created Chaos Corner. Hooray. Thanks for being on, Elyse. And then I do voice acting work with like Ruby and Camp Camp and Red vs. Blue, and now Genlock. Yeah.
What would you do? I didn't get to this either, but what would you do if you weren't doing this?
Oh yeah. I mean, aside from swimming with orcas for the rest of the time, probably something veterinary related. I've always loved animals, and sometimes I feel like I have a stronger connection with them than some people I meet. So yeah, I wanna help save the kitties. Yeah. You can.
Oh, I was just gonna say I would have been probably a teacher, and if I had to go do something besides this, I would want to like teach digital production design, people who want to get into it, because my teachers meant so much to me, and they encouraged me to be like creative in that way. So if I could do that for maybe middle school kids before they're too like old to be like, I know more than you.
Have you guys ever thought of doing something like that at Cow Chop? Being like, here's our process, like, and Sugarpine too, because you guys have really unique processes to how you.
You mean like have a class about it, or like
a video
about
tutorial, or kind of like a no film school or a rocket jump? Like, here's how we do our stuff.
I don't know. I don't know if people, like I said, I don't know if people would be interested in that. Like, I don't know if that kind of content would live on our channel next to James putting his feet in food. But that might be like something fun to do for like Patreon, or like put it on Twitter or something like that. But if people are interested, like yeah, we would talk about it.
Sugarpine process changes every 2 days, so I don't think there's enough to get a handle on there. Maybe one day.
I will say for anyone in the audience who is interested in like an editing process, we have updated since the video was released, but a good foundation of how we do a lot of our editing process is on the Achievement Hunter channel. Trevor did like a step-by-step tutorial with just like visual representation and voiceover, but it kind of goes over like layering multi-tracks, how we cut all of our footage, how if you want to add in live action elements or any graphics, how you do that. And I think we want to do a follow-up where we show the new update that we've had with Adobe that recently pushed, and kind of show some of the batch editing processes that we have now, since you can render out a lot of footage before you even start editing itself. So, yeah. Cool.
I think maybe one last question before we take some questions from the crowd, but what's your kind of career or personal highlight from this year or last year, or really any year, something that you're really proud of, that you point to, and it can be, there's no bad answer.
This is my cook-off with Elyse Willems. We're gonna cook-off.
You won. You beat me with, what was your dish?
Oh, I put, I think, like a layer of glazed donuts, and then I made some ramen, and then I like stir-fried it, and put like sriracha aioli, and then it was KFC mashed potatoes, KFC mac and cheese, Shake Shack fries, like around the side for, presentation. And then I think like I sliced avocados, and I got a lot of crap for that because apparently I didn't know how to cut an avocado. Put a little gravy on top. It was really pretty good.
That sounds delicious.
That's what I was like, man, if I was like so wasted or so high, I would just be like, this is great. But like later, I'd be like, that was not great.
It was, I thought we were having a real,
what was in yours? I had no idea.
Mine was the secret Canadian, so it was all like gross Canadian foods surrounded by like really gross American foods.
Also, you put muscle milk in it. I was like, no, you sabotage yourself there.
I had like craft dinner, or macaroni and cheese as Americans call it, in the center, and then like syrup pockets and stuff, and then I had like, I poured Mountain Dew over it, and had like Doritos.
That sounds a lot better.
Yeah, Lindsay's was good, but then I didn't know what was happening because Brett walked in with all these like bags of fast food, and I thought we were making our food, and then Lindsay's like, oh no, this is from but
start over with what you got.
Yeah. Autumn, do you?
Like just in general, being a part of Rooster Teeth is still crazy to me, because that happened last year, I think, and we were officially bought in like January of this year, so that's still pretty new. That's been fun. It's also cool, like, I always forget that I manage the editing department, and I'm sure Vicky forgets too, but I'm her boss. So that's cool. I'm still like pretty young, so I'm sure I have many career milestones ahead of me, but yeah, being a part of Rooster Teeth is crazy. It still hits me in waves. It's cool.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year to go from getting announced as full-time at RTX last year to here. It's been a lot getting to go to like PAX East and do panels there, and I got to do a cool like marketing panel with like Jeff and Mika in San Francisco, so that was fun. But I think the crowning achievement of last year was getting to play in Company Prom with Tim and Nick and pulling that monstrosity off. And getting to see like so many of our friends and fans be like so excited to like do this weird 80s and 90s themed dance, the Smash Mouth. Like, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, it's been super. The whole year has been like a treat for sure. It's like, wow, how's this next year gonna get better?
Yeah, I've been unemployed for a month, so I've just been going to the beach. It's been great. No, I have like all the things that I'm like kind of blowing my mind are all really video game specific. Like, I was the first person in the world to finish the Gears of War 4 Horde mode.
Really?
Yeah, outside of the dev team. And that was like super fun to play. And then the other one is like, I was the first person to get to play Darksiders 3 and I've played it again. And it's like, until that game comes, or until Gamescom, which is this month, I hold the mantle of being the person outside of the dev team who has seen the most or knows the most about Darksiders 3. So I just keep trying to bring that up and be like, I know more than anyone else on the planet about that game right now. Fuck Gamescom, cancel the event. Then it's gonna come out in November and my dreams are all shattered. But yeah, it's all stuff like that that's like, you know, when I was playing the first Darksiders or even the first Gears of War, which was the game that made me want to get an Xbox 360, it just would have blown my mind if I had been able to tell myself that long ago and be like, yeah, you'll be the first person to finish Gears 4 Horde mode when it comes out or before it comes out. I would have just been like, bullshit, he's potty mouth Australian 12-year-old or whatever. But yeah, that stuff's still incredibly cool, and I don't think I'll ever stop feeling excited about stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, I was like, you know, had the cook-off, guys. No, I don't know, I've done a lot of stuff for the last, like, year and a half now that I've been with Couch Hop, and it sort of all just blends into one. But I still consider myself super lucky to, like, work with them and be able to, like, come do stuff like this. And this is my first RTX, so that's exciting for me. And also, I played Zelda for the first time.
That's a good achievement.
Yeah, I love it. I was like, why did I wait so long?
I know this is the Women of Let's Play panel, so I'll stick with like Achievement Hunter accomplishments, even though voice acting has been like insane. Specifically with Achievement Hunter, like going back to me loving paranormal activities and stuff like that, it's like we have a ghost hunting show, that's awesome. I think that's one of my best accomplishments. And then again, going back to my trolling level, like I will never ever stop loving the parts in Lindsay Wins where Jeff and Gavin just lose their damn minds. I told Michael if I die before he does, he needs to play that at my funeral.
For me, it's kind of funny welcoming me to do the stand-up with them and be part of that doc. Like, was just an amazing I'm so grateful and like a better person for having done it. And just like the fact that people believed in me to do that. And it's just like one of those life-changing things that you don't realize it's life-changing until you do it, and then you're like, I'm a slightly different person now because of it. And yeah, I want to open up to questions, and I also want to invite Ashley Jenkins on stage, who is like the OG. I feel like Ashley's like honorary Let's Play, though we never get to play games with her.
Is there a microphone? Oh yeah, there are two back there. That's awesome.
So I'm setting up a team.
She's our Nick Fury.
Also love it, like, the side note, Greg Miller is like the nicest dude ever, and this is an example of it. He's like, let me grab a chair for her.
It's all an act, I hate you! I should be the champion, you all suck!
First question.
Okay, hi. I just want to start. You all are amazing queens, and I love you so much. And you guys are just such wonderful inspirations.
We love you.
And then my question is, like, over all of your years of experience that you've been doing, what has been your favorite, either like video or project where you're like, this is my child, and I am so proud of this?
I mean, I said it, but like Chaos Corner. It's really fun.
I've had a couple, like working with Brett, he's always had a lot of creative ideas. So even back at Machinima, that was a long time ago, we worked together. We've always been able to do a lot of really fun little creative projects where he would just give me a lot of creative control and put out something like weird and funny, you know, like Brett's covered in blood in a dumpster and you know, stuff like that. So we did a video last Halloween about ads on YouTube. It was like sort of like a little funny horror doc where Alex was like possessed by like becoming more ad friendly, so we wouldn't get demonetized anymore. And that was like a really fun creative project for me. So I feel like I get to do that a lot there.
Demonetized, I get it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Demonetized.
I've made a bunch of like small documentaries over the few years that I've been in the industry, and I just love doing those. It's like interviewing a lot of devs and like getting their perspective, and you learn so much that you would never think of, and like how these people make engines and how complicated that is, and then a lot of transcribing, which is not a fun part of it, but then like you get to see the end product, and I just really like making those. It's a lot of fun.
I love doing all of our live events because it's cool to actually meet people in real life that you interact with on the internet. That's why we love RTX. But yeah, that's my favorite.
I always love when, like, in Sugar Pine we get to do storylines or videos that are very, like, they're good because they're true to, like, the things that are going on in our actual life. Like, that's why season 1 was so strong and fun to do for all of us, is because we were all going through, like, a source fed ending, and we were all going through, like, being unemployed and starting this business, and being able to, like, edit the genuine stuff, I really like doing that a lot. It's kind of like editing a documentary, which is always fun to, like, piece the footage together and find the story in the video, so yeah, that's probably my stuff.
Everything at Funhouse is like super collaborative, which is awesome because you always feel like someone has your back or has a better idea than you do. So like the last thing I felt like was like really my baby was Mandatory Update that I used to do at Game Trailers, which is like kind of like Ian.
Amazing.
Like yeah, Ian and Mai are like aborted fetus that we like had, but it was okay. But like yeah, it was just something that you know is still like dear to my heart.
For me, it's producing E3 for Rooster Teeth, just because there's so many moving parts, and it takes months of my life every year, and it kills me every year to do it. And then I swear I will never do it ever again. And then like 2 months later, I'm like, so we should start planning E3. But that's just because we didn't do E3 coverage previously, so being able to start that and build it and see it grow year after year has been really cool.
I know I already gave my answer, I'm sorry, but I totally forgot about the Meatball trailer for Infinity War. Final answer, okay.
Thank you.
Can we take a question on the other side?
So if you guys had to like switch lives with someone else on the panel, who would you switch lives with?
Lindsay, all right.
Lindsay, easy. That's so easy.
I'm gonna say Elyse because it means I can hang out with Benson.
That's a good answer.
And
he's really cute.
He's the best. Why is it me? I think Joey, because like, well, Joey's a delightful person and is beloved, so I would be beloved. But also, I mean, I get to hang out with Kind of Funny, who I really enjoy hanging out with.
That also comes with Kevin, you know.
Abort, new answer. I love it.
Oh, I think I want to hang out with Elyse, or switch with Alana because I miss the beach. You've been talking about the beach a lot, and that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. I'd probably switch lives with Cow Chop Lindsay, because then I'd get to boss people around and they'd actually listen to me.
But then you have to deal with Cow Chop, so.
That's true. Well,
it's a trade-off.
Never find Cow Chop.
Wild boys.
I would like to take Alana's unemployment, please. I would like to go to the beach every day as well. Yes, thank you.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. I just want to say, all of you are McQueens, and I love you all. Also, Lindsay, I've told multiple people that you're kind of my role model in chaos.
Oh God, thank you. Please get a better hold of your life than I have.
Alright, my life is bad enough as it is.
I like your shirt though. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to like say that I appreciate all that you've like done for like all girls in gaming, because if it weren't for you guys, I don't think I'd be as confident as I was in the community.
Thank you.
So sweet.
I mentioned this before to panels too. People say like, "Thank you so much for creating content that I can identify with." I'm like, you guys are the ones supporting our content. You understand that, right? Like, you guys inspire us to continue creating what we create, and you allow us to come into work and to have it really not feel like work. It's now things that we enjoy. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
This question is for Lindsay and Elyse. When is Lindsay, Elyse, and Elyse gonna happen?
Oh my God, you remember.
Every like couple months, or not months, but like few weeks, we like slack each other. Think about like, hey, we should do something. But Lindsay's pretty busy.
Yeah, being a mom.
I give the illusion of being busy.
So it will happen one day. We feel like we joke that there's like a Romeo and Juliet like relationship there, where it's like Funhouse won't let me hang out with you, and Achievement Hunter won't let me hang out with you.
Yeah, but meanwhile they're both like take her. I mean, I'm super. We will keep having a conversation and make it happen.
It'll happen.
Got it. I had such a good time with the Chaos.
2020.
Right. Well, now you've announced it, so shit.
Do we have like 5 minutes to take more questions? Do you guys have 5 minutes to take more questions?
Yeah, we're allowed to.
Just chill.
It's okay.
Hi. So first off, Alana, welcome to RTX, Funhouse, and all that stuff.
Thanks.
We didn't know you were going to be here whenever we bought our tickets. But this is a really cool bonus, and so all that. But also like RTX and Kind of Funny and like Alana's personal YouTube. Those are a lot more open, supportive, welcoming communities. And I would like to hear your feedback, or your experience rather, with how those communities come together, how you can build a positive, supportive group when you're building your own brand.
That's really hard to answer.
I understand that.
Yeah, well, it's easy. Like I've worked for I think 7 YouTube channels. The first one that I think it was Zelda Universe was the first one that I worked for, and they had the best community ever because it's just a bunch of people who like Zelda, just talking about Zelda all the time. It's great. But then there were a lot of them that were really, really terrible. One brand called Video Game Memes, funnily enough, really terrible audience. I think a lot of it comes to do with the kind of content that you put out, but also, like, honestly, moderation is an important thing. Like, if you don't want crappy people in your community, you have to moderate them. And I think once you start doing that, other people in your community start sticking up for you and being like, hey, that's not okay, that's not allowed in this community. And it's like probably a lot more work than people realize to moderate a community and kind of keep everyone in line. But it's, I mean, I feel like the Rooster Teeth community is incredible. I don't even understand really how Rooster Teeth managed to do that. It's like, how are you so big and have been around for so long, but have this amazing community who shows up here and is so nice to everyone? It's like, what?
Yeah. I feel like people exist really well within an established set of rules and boundaries once they know what those are. So making sure that you know what those are and enforcing them, and then they do start to like self-police, and people will call you out and be like, hey, that's not what we do here. Like, we're Kind of Funny calls our community best friends, and that's really how we want to treat each other. Like, best friends don't always agree, but you have to be able to like respectfully have these kinds of conversations and be able to interact with people and not automatically just default to insults and stuff like that. So yeah, and for us, it's like very much a trickle-down thing of like, this is what we promote and this is what we want to do, and if you agree and like that message, then that's kind of, you fall in line. And I feel like Rooster Teeth is the same way of like, we want to be positive, we want to be supportive with each other, and if that's not your thing, that's cool, but this might not be the right place for you.
It's almost like you're a community manager. That's really good.
And then just like bonus question, Alana, are you going to be at any meet and greets or anything? Do you have plans on that?
I mean, we didn't even have it planned that I would be on the panel yesterday or Friday or whatever. This wasn't officially planned until yesterday, I think. I just kind of showed up, so I don't know.
Thanks.
Hopefully you'll see me around.
Okay, so first off, you all look amazing. I love seeing the bunch of different body types. You're not all just super, thin. So that feels great for all the rest of us that aren't as well. Lindsay, you are fitness goals. I've lost 60 pounds this year, and you are a help with that. Woo! There's not a lot of girls in Rooster Teeth. There are a good bit, but there's not a lot. So do you ever feel like, holy crap, I'm one of the only girls here, or do you feel like you're actually part of it and you don't really, like, gender isn't a big deal?
I mean, it's an interesting discussion because yes, gender is very important, but I think a lot of times people naturally don't understand how big the population of women is at Rooster Teeth, especially in the animation department alone. Now we're pretty much 50-50, sometimes skewing heavily female in certain departments. And I know with our editing staff now too, or not even editing, but Achievement Hunter post-production, we have Ashley and Steffi and now Sarah who's managing Achievement Hunter as well. And we had Mika involved with Achievement Hunter as well, who moved on to the No and was able to contribute there too, with Caden now too. So I feel like even though there might not be as strong of an on-camera presence as I would prefer, and I think we're moving in that direction, there's still a great amount of women who are involved in the company. And I would highly encourage you to check out their work too if you're not familiar. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes commentary and videos that we've made to highlight their work and how much they've contributed to the company as a whole.
Yeah, although like I'm like on an island until now in LA, there's like a lady at Rooster Teeth that I talk to online at least every day, in some either work capacity or just because we're friends.
It's Hannah, isn't it?
It's generally Hannah.
We love Hannah. Hannah's so lovely.
Live action. But like they're just tons of awesome ladies that you've probably never heard of, but you should because they're all amazing. AJ is the best.
Yeah, it's the best over here. I mean, you know, working in the production space, like I feel like I see other women at Rooster Teeth all the time, so I never feel like I'm alone. And there are departments that are that skew way more heavily female. RTX is planned is like 80-90% women building out and putting together and organizing this event. You know, they work really, really hard. They do amazing work. It's and we see all of them every day. So I never feel like I'm alone. I don't really feel like I'm, just like lone girl off in a corner like doing a thing. I feel like we're all part of a really big family. I feel pretty happy about it.
I think like even in the LA office, because there's not as many women there, just because it's a smaller team. It's still like you were saying, we still like reach out to a bunch of people at Rooster Teeth all the time, and like this is happening right now. So like that's awesome. It's like it's good.
You and Vicky like sit there, and I feel like I'm always like peering over her, like, what are they doing?
And we're trying to start a little like girl coalition or
girl gang there.
We always welcome Elyse, but only if you bring Benson.
Why is that always the stipulation?
You know why.
Well, thank you guys. I'm sorry, don't think we have time for more questions, just because you guys have to move on to other stuff, probably. But if you want to stay and chat, I'm sure people won't like run you out with pitchforks. maybe Adam Kovic might. But thank you guys for doing this panel.
Thank you for planning it.
Thanks for organizing it.
Elyse put this together. Thank you guys so much.